On May 30, 1498, Columbus left with 6 ships from Sanlúcar, Spain, for his third trip to the New World. He was accompanied by the father of Bartolomé de las Casas. Columbus led the fleet to the Portuguese island of Porto Santo, his wife's native land. He then sailed to Madeira and spent some time there with the Portuguese captain João Goncalves da Câmara before sailing to the Canary Islands and Cape Verde. Columbus landed on the south coast of the island of Trinidad on July 31st. From August 4th to August 12th, he explored the Gulf of Paria, which separates Trinidad from Venezuela. He explored the mainland of South America, including Orinoco River. He also sailed to the islands of Chacachacare and Margarita Island and sighted and named Tobago, Bella Forma, and Grenada, Concepcion. Fourth voyage. Before leaving for his fourth voyage, Columbus wrote a letter to the governors of the Bank of St. George, Genoa, dated at Seville, April 2nd, 1502. He wrote, "Although my body is here, my heart is always near you," referring to Genoa, which is in northern Italy. Columbus made a fourth voyage nominally in search of the Strait of Mallassa to the Indian Ocean. Accompanied by his brother Bartolomeo and his 13-year-old son Fernando, he left Cadiz, modern Spain, on May 11, 1502, with the ships Capitana, Galega, and Vizcaína, and Santiago de Palos. He sailed to Arzila on the Moroccan coast to rescue Portuguese soldiers whom he had heard were under siege by the Moors. On June 15, they landed at Carbet on the island of Martinica. A hurricane was brewing, so he continued on, hoping to find shelter on Hispaniola. He arrived at Santo Domingo on June 29, but was denied port, and the new governor refused to listen to his storm prediction. Instead, while Columbus's ships sheltered at the mouth of the Rio Jaina, the first Spanish treasure fleet sailed into the hurricane. Columbus's ships survived with only minor damage, while 29 of the 30 ships in the governor's fleet were lost to the July 1st storm. In addition to the ships, 500 lives, including that of the governor, Francisco de Bobadilla, and an immense cargo of gold were surrendered to the sea. Anyway, back then, at that time, Columbus never really received much recognition for his important voyages. He died basically a poor and broken-hearted man. But because of his discovery of America, and many others soon after sailed across the Atlantic Ocean from different parts of Europe, and colonies were soon established in the quote New World, the chain of events caused a change in history. People's lives after 1492, basically the world over, would never be the same. People today who are born, actually, biologically, historically, and factually, would not have been born. It would have been different human conscious existences had not Columbus did what he did. People would have gone different places, they would have seen different people, married different women, if Columbus did not do what he did. The Brits would not have come, the French would not have come, the Portuguese would not have come, more Spaniards, Italians, etc., the Dutch, you name it. It changed how people behaved, where they went, what they did, how they did it, who they saw, who they met, how soon they died. Different factors, different nuances caused a ripple effect that changed human existence and human history. That's not an exaggeration, it's not an overstatement. So Columbus, warts and all, flaws and all, definitely did something significant and world-shaking. Columbus is a controversial figure. Some today love him. Some sort of hate him, or actually hate him. And some are in between, have some maybe mixed feelings about him. Some, including many Native Americans, view him as responsible, directly and indirectly, for the deaths of tens of thousands of indigenous peoples, exploitation of the Americas by Europe, and slavery in the West Indies. Others honor him for the massive boost his career gave to Western expansion and culture, and for his boldness. No one's perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. You gotta take the good with the bad, and you have to acknowledge what actually happened. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Warts and all. As well as the bright spots and the fascinating aspects. All of it.